It's Aubrey Bracco from Survivor Co. Wrong. Start your wagon wheels and get rolling because it's time to hit the Survivor Trail with Dwaine and Dave on Survivor Talk with D&D. Cock your wagon and float on through. It's sure to be a fun ride. Just be sure not to get dysentery and die.
I swear, I think that you singing along with that thing every time I hear it. Yay!
Well, I'm not.
Okay.
Welcome to Survivor Talk with D&D. We're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. My name is Dwaine, and I am here with my aforementioned best friend, David. Hello, David.
Hello, Dwaine.
I know we're starting a little bit behind.
It's a weird night. I'm in the middle of a construction set because Terry is painting this room to get new.
I see that.
We're moving the desk into the room, so she destroyed my stage.
Yes,
and I had to do a makeshift, quick, up-to-date buff wall for now.
Yeah, I like the merge buff behind you. I got mine behind me right there. Yep. Hello, merge buff.
There you go. She was supposed to put some stuff back, but she didn't. And I said, "Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll just cram in and sit in the middle of the room."
Well, you got your Funkos up, and that's important.
That isn't. I got my new Funkos up too. My Daredevil and Punisher. There you go.
Nice, Daredevil, Punisher. Tonight we're discussing episode 8. I'm the Kingpin, and we're going to read, listen to, and discuss your thoughts on the show as well. And later in the show, we are giving away a merge buff, or whatever buff the winner wants, from buffusa.com. Use promo code SurvivorTalk33 to get 10% off your buffs at buffusa.com/SurvivorTalk33. We also are bringing back one of our most loved segments,
Pondering Ponderosa.
Oh, yeah. So thank you for listening, watching, subscribing, sharing, and supporting our shows. If you want a text message whenever we go live, I just sent one. Just text STWDD to 43506. Thanks to Text Signal for setting that up. You can find a link for them in the show description and, of course, on our website. You can get all of our shows, blogs, links to our amazing Facebook group, Twitter, and even links to other Survivor websites on our website, stwdd.com. In fact, some of you are there right now watching us live and are in our chat room. So join the conversation. Have fun. One more thing, David. One more thing, and then we're going to start talking about Survivor. Okay. Last October 2015, we had 11,881 audio downloads of our podcast. This past month, October 2016, we had, for the first time ever, over 20,000 downloads with 21,810. So because of that, to celebrate, I am personally giving away 2 signed D&D mugs. David has graciously agreed to sign as well. You get to choose the color mugs you want. You can do 1 or 2 different colors. And one is for you to keep in your own pantry or on your desk with pens in it. And the other is to give away as one of those dirty Santa gifts or whatever they're called at your Christmas parties.
White elephant.
White elephant gifts. It's Christmas. You can't call it a white elephant gift.
Dirty Santa?
That's what they call it here in Alabama. We will draw a name on next week's show. And the way you get your name entered is you send a letter or postcard. We've had 2 come in so far. So they have a 50-50 shot. So they don't want y'all to send anything. To Survivor Talk with D&D, P.O. Box 588, Athens, Alabama 35613. Write something nice on it. Be sure to include your name. That address is on our website, by the way. If you live outside the continental U.S., I will send you the mugs straight from Teespring. And we won't get to sign them. I'm sorry.
And speaking of next week's podcast, if all goes well, we are still planning our next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, an afternoon merge chat with our friends.
Yes.
If all goes well.
All right. We'll see what happens. It's the merge episode, David.
It is.
Mm-hmm. I have several initial thoughts. Do you have any?
I have a few.
All right.
Well, I had a feeling you would ask for them. So yeah, I brought a few.
Yeah. So my first one is I like challenges, but I love camp life. So this was a great episode for me.
That's a great point because I haven't heard, as you know, I usually avoid stuff from Wednesday night to Thursday night because I don't want to be influenced and I don't want to spend our top podcast talking about other podcasts. So I usually just don't read anything. I do read Dalton's recap every once in a while. And then I talk with you, but otherwise I haven't heard if people like this episode or not because there wasn't a lot of like action or fireworks or big arguments or anything. It was kind of a quiet episode, but I love this episode as well because it was camp life.
Yeah.
I mean, that challenge could have taken 2 minutes as far as I was concerned. I wanted to see more scrambling. I wanted to see more running around. I wanted to hear more strategy talk. I love the group talk. Andy Westover probably devoured this episode because all it was those voting blocks that he talked about last week in his feedback. Yeah. I love this episode because this is what I've been waiting to hear. And now they're all at one camp. We get them all at one time. We don't have to bounce around camp to camp. Yes, I love this episode.
Yeah. Well, why don't you give me one of your other initial thoughts? That'd be awesome.
I've already shared this with the person and she approved it. You can take the girl off the farm, but you can't take the farm out of the girl. Once Jessica put the stick in her mouth, it was time to go to work. And she killed that challenge. 90 minutes. My only fear is that she planted a seed in somebody's mind that girl can stand up in a challenge. Yeah. That's my only fear. We didn't get much, other from her, but man, she killed that challenge. So impressed. 90 minutes with the toothpick and all, and she was rocking it. So
yeah, and I got some stuff to say about that whenever we get to it. So I look forward to doing that. I wrote one big move does not make you the kingpin. So sorry, Jay.
Speaking of that, another not best line that could have been used for the title. The best line was at Tribal Council, and it was from Adam when he said, "This is where the fun begins." Yeah, that was the last line said before they voted. I'm like, come on. I mean, I understand because the whole episode seemed to be about what Jay thought he had that he did not have.
Right.
But I understand, but still not my favorite. But you're right. It's like one great move that wasn't even in front of the jury.
Yeah.
Does not make you the kingpin.
Well, it'll make you the kingpin, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have another one?
Apparently it's really hard to keep an idol secret because Zeke seems to know or think highly that Jay has an idol. I'm like, wow, Adam must be doing a really good job because Will doesn't think Adam has an idol. So it must be really hard this season to keep the idol secret. Speaking of Will, he needs another facial expression for a bad situation. Because he was smiling the whole time Michelle got voted off. And I don't know if that was because he felt he was happy it wasn't him, even though it couldn't have been him. But I'm like, dude, you are so happy to be there, but you can't always smile when somebody's walking out of the game.
Yeah, it's like, wow, a blind side.
Yeah. Wow, we were part of a blind side.
Yeah. I was blindsided. Yeah, yeah. I wrote, Ikabula and Takali got a free reward last night. Because they got a boat ride, and boat rides are fun.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I love boat rides, and they were going fast. If I was the other tribe, I'd be like, well, can you take me out on the boat at least? You know?
Can we go for a spin?
Yeah.
In fact, they didn't even know they were coming. The other two tribes knew probably 20 minutes before.
Right.
They were coming.
Yeah. Do you have any more? I have two more.
No, not really.
I have words I always want to hear if I'm on Survivor. Want to hear a secret? Those are words I want to hear.
Yes.
Yeah. Chat room's filling up. Hey, everybody. Talk away. Last initial thought is I'm tired. That's all.
Okay, I will add that to my initial thoughts.
Yeah,
yes.
I have to get up in the morning and drive to Atlanta. I got to be at the airport by 10:20. And Atlanta's like 3.5 hours away.
I was in here setting up and getting stuff ready for probably about an hour after I watched Kitchen Nightmares with Terry and Davis, and I came here and said, I'm going to go set up the email stuff, get stuff ready. And I walked out like the 5 minutes after you texted me, said, hey, I'm on my way home. I walked out and Terry goes, y'all finished?
Like, normally y'all are almost done.
I know. She goes, well, I probably won't be awake when you. I said, honey, don't stay awake for me.
No.
But I was like, I feel like I'm waiting to go to work. Like I have a midnight job.
All right, it's night 20, and we're at Ikabula. And Jay, did you catch that? Jay's like, Oh, thank you, Hannah. And then Jay goes, we didn't tell Hannah. Yeah.
I wrote down. Well, I wrote down. I'm like you. You were pumped after the rewatch, and I was even more pumped after the rewatch. I wrote a bunch of notes, more than I thought I would write after the first time I
On
watched
night
it.
20, go for it, because I just had like one more thing.
In case the merge isn't tomorrow, Brett and Sunday did the proper thing of thank you for keeping us here.
Oh yeah.
Give out the hugs. Make sure you follow that up. And then I wrote down that Hannah smartly says she would have voted for them. Doesn't matter if you do or not. You always go back and you make inroads back to the group that did not include you.
That's right.
And Hannah's smart. She's going to come out knowing either one, Jay didn't trust her, or two, Jay didn't want her taking any credit for that big move.
Right.
So either way, Hannah now wants revenge for Jay's move, and she gave him a guilt trip, which is smart because now he will trust her later. And I wrote in all capitals, this is important. And we find out later it's very important. So important that while I was waiting for you, my best friend, I got to watch my Gmail account filled up with YouTube videos from Survivor on CBS for YouTube. Yeah. So I clicked through and started watching a few of them. One of them is a post-merge secret scene with Jay where he calls the merge a big old mess. I think that's the title of the clip. And in that, he says that the people he trusts the most, now that they've made the merge, are Will and Hannah. They came with him from Ikabula, and those are the people he trusts the most.
Yeah.
Wow. He's trusting, but he's so in for an awakening.
Yeah.
But good on Hannah for going back to Jay and say, please include me. I want to be in the loop. And Jay comes out of that thinking, man, she's so trusted. She wants to work with me. That's awesome. Yep. Good on her. So now I wonder if Adam and Zeke tried that when Mari got voted out. Just wonder way back when, because that's what you do. You don't go sit and sulk.
No.
You go back to the group, did not include you, and want to ask to be included.
Hey, can you take the next, I need to call my wife. Can you?
You ready to move on or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll just pick up wherever you leave off.
All right.
Sorry.
So we get immediately into merge time. I think it was Ikabula got the note first, and chat room, if you want to join me in this recap, you feel welcome to. Brett gets a confessional that says Jay's word has been true so far, and I'm thinking, on one occasion, he told you to vote Michaela, and he voted Michaela. So I don't know how far you want to trust Jay, but I think Brett is on the precipice of can't wait to get back to Chris and others and take Sunday with him. And then Adam gets a confessional for the other tribe that says this is when things get scary, alliances get tested. This is when you separate the great from the mediocre players. Adam is really smart. I like Adam a lot. I don't think he was completely smart in this episode. I think he made some big mistakes that's going to cost him, but he's so articulate and really good in confessionals. Adam is really, really smart. I'm pretty sure his wife is okay. I have a feeling that she didn't realize he was starting yet, or she needs to tell him something, or somebody didn't get picked up. Maybe, I don't know. They were at a basketball game. So we go to day 21, the merge feast, and I tell you, this was a great episode because early on they took us right to the merge, right to all the people coming together, and we got so many confessionals, so many strategy talks, so much scrambling. I love the merge episode. It's one of my top 3 episodes. I like the first episode, I like the merge episode, and usually I like the finale. Sometimes the finale kind of falls down, kind of is not as exciting as it could be, but the merge episode is always exciting, and the first episode is always exciting. Everybody's got the most energy. But right off the bat, we get that Zeke is nervous and excited about other connections that may have been made. So he gets the first post-merge confessional. Then Michelle gets one. It's huge to be at the merge, and she's back with Jay and Taylor. Man, I miss Michelle already, especially being stuck with Taylor, that he's still there. But they get to the beach, and they pull up the chest, and there's the merge note that's been all over the internet and talked about. And for those that had not seen it, the merge note had a clue on it as to where something may be. And if you look at the merge note, congratulations, you've made the merge. I believe it's every word after that. The first letter of every word, if you take those letters and form them into a sentence, it tells you that there's an advantage at the mail drop or an advantage comes from the male. Oddly enough, we didn't get anybody really reading that merge note. We didn't get anybody studying it or talking about it, and which is funny. As much as we talked about it and tried to decipher it, it took you and I a few minutes longer than normal people, I guess, since we didn't do it in 30 seconds.
Dude, I didn't even try. I just waited till you said this is what it said.
But I'm kind of surprised. It's almost that's what I was wondering. The prop guy's like, I spent so much time on that clue. Tell me where that was, and nobody read it.
Yeah. I think I wrote that in my notes somewhere. I feel sorry. Oh, yeah. I said, don't you know the guy or gal that spent hours creating this clue is ticked no one used it? You know, he's like, I figured out a way to do the clue. And then, like, no one uses it.
Here comes Adam back with a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
So
people are asking, my wife is fine. She's just in Texas. She's been with her dad who's in the hospital. And she has a 7:10 flight in the morning. And it's with an airline we're not used to using. So she's like, what do I do? So I may have to call her again. And but she's doing fine. Did you talk about what Adam said about the merge? Really
I did.
Great players.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Separates the great from the mediocre players.
Yeah. I just thought that was a good thing that he said.
It's funny that he pointed that out now that you mentioned it, because to me, he had a mediocre episode. He did not have a great episode. He's a smart guy and he's very articulate, but I really think he made some mistakes in this episode. In fact, I think what the story is telling us is that he's going to go before Taylor. Taylor is going to get his revenge, and then Taylor. Yeah,
because Taylor is so like laid back. Oh, whatever, dude. And Adam's like,
exactly. And
Adam's like my dog when I get home from work.
Yeah. And then he runs and talks to another neighbor.
Yeah.
When you don't tell him what he wants.
Yeah. And Taylor's like my cat, just laying there. Yeah, whatever, you're home. My dog's just running around the house like a wild dog.
Your cat's like Michelle, just laid back, not worried about it.
Yeah, well, that came to bite her in the butt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but we're at the merge where they lift up and go into the feast, and then we get Jay. We also get his confessional, where he said, and he's got Taylor and Michelle, which he does. He's got Will and Hannah in his pocket, which is half right. He's pretty sure he has Brett and Sunday, which I mentioned that Brett got the confessional that Jay's been true to me now once. I mean, he's been true to his word so far. And I'm like, well, that's just once. The Michaela vote. That's all he's had to be true to. So that might not last long. And Jay's got an idol. So it's ironic that half of that was true and half of it wasn't. So that's when he calls himself the Kingpin.
Yeah. I'm the Kingpin and no one knows it.
And that makes me wonder if he's not going to be a winner.
No, I don't.
Because half of what he said's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I'm almost scared Taylor's going to pull this thing off.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Don't even. But the thing is, we did not know half of what he said was wrong. We didn't know Hannah was definitely going to not work with him, or Brett and Sunday. So
yeah,
at the point, what he said was possible. But but he's the keeper. And then Taylor, of all people, starts the meet and greet. He wants to meet everybody again.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, we get some Gen Xers talking together. We get the Nerd Alliance talking together. All this was really good information. It was really fun to watch. I don't really think we need to pick it apart. It was just fun to watch.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered all of it last week. I do like that Chris is mentioning Dave and everything. So it's almost like he's gotten past. Because remember, I've said it multiple times that if you're going to mess up with someone, mess up early so that it can be forgiven and you can work through it. And the best thing for Dave was to get Island with Chris so that they can work it out. And Chris doesn't come back with an attitude towards David. So he included David in everything. Yeah. And every time he made a lineup of his core, David was in it. So I thought that was good. Another quick secret scene on YouTube is Chris talking about how he's adjusted his game. In the beginning, he played very aggressive and got burned several times. And now he's decided to pull back and play a more patient game. But in that patient game, he's trying to put his ideas in other people's minds so that it looks like they did the work or they did the dirty work. And it's called putting his tentacles in the jury, because he does that as a criminal attorney. He puts his thoughts. He wants the jury to think that his thoughts were actually their thoughts. Right. So he's doing this negotiation because these people are the jury. If I get to the final, this is the jury. So I'm trying to put my thoughts in them so that they do it. So they'll come to me with an idea, but at the same time, I want them to use my idea. And I'll know by the votes if my ideas are getting through. But he admitted, come merge. It's later on, he says, I'm not sure if the merge is a good thing or a bad thing. I said, well, it's a thing. It's like the fourth quarter. You don't have a choice. You got to play the fourth quarter.
Right.
So,
Right.
I like that. That scene was really good. It was probably too long to show in the show. But he says he's going to play a more patient game now and work from that way. And that does make sense to how he was portrayed last night.
Yeah, but the problem is it wasn't shown in the show. So
Exactly.
I mean, that doesn't really bode well for him.
No, I don't think he's going to get the win now.
Yeah. So let's talk about this advantage that Adam finds. Sans clue again. What the heck? My computer just.
Oh, one more thing before we get to that. We finally got Andy's nerd herd. He wanted to see a nerd herd come out of the Second Chance season. We never got it, but he got it now with Zeke, Hannah, and Adam. And I love that. And Zeke to me is getting a better edit because he's pointing out really smart stuff. I mean, he obviously overheard a conversation later, but he says, "Hey, we got all three tribes represented in us three, and we're getting intel from all three tribes."
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a really good thing. And
if only they had called it the nerd herd.
I know that would have.
Andy Baker would have been so excited.
And then he talks about Jay and how wonderful he is and how he scares him to death. So
yeah,
okay.
So Adam finds an quote unquote advantage, but is it really an advantage? Hold on. I didn't.
I'm waiting.
I didn't think so at first because it's stealing a reward. And what does that do? But just make everybody mad at you, right? You steal the reward. However, I stopped and read the parchment.
Okay.
It said pick the right reward and choose the right people to join you, and you could change the game. That makes it better.
So it's not like he gets to take somebody's place on a reward. He gets to take the whole reward and choose people if he wants.
It's basically they get to, and he doesn't even get to do it until they're about to leave. And then he goes, Jeff, I think I'll be the winner of this reward. and it happens, So if he takes the right people, then that's good. But
don't the experts that have played this game say it's always not good to be the winner of that reward and pick people? You want to be picked or you want to be left with people you can flip. Yeah. You don't necessarily want to be the person that does it. I think
you should give it to somebody.
Either that or he should claim the reward and then give his spot to somebody else. Somebody that hadn't eaten a lot. Like if Aubrey won it last year, she could have given it to Joe because Joe hadn't eaten much. He was getting sick. But I mean, he could use that to give it to somebody else and stay with his people or just to get somebody out of camp to talk to the people left. I don't know. He could maneuver it because you can give up your reward. Just when you win it or something, you can give it up. At the same time, you might want to pull it out and say, look, guys, I got this advantage and I'm not going to use it. So I'm throwing it away, which will make another prop person very upset. Yeah. But I don't know. I like it because it requires a decision. And now that it's in play, because Taylor knows about it and Jay's going to know about it, really going to have, it really could have an effect.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
It's also neat because it could be a lie. Adam could have made up. I mean, that could have been a lie, a really good lie if it wasn't real. But I mean, if Adam had used it, because I loved how Adam said later, I went searching for an idol, but I found this. As in, I didn't find an idol. I found this.
Right. So I'm not sure if it's a classic Survivor move to take a bunch of food. A couple people have done it, but I don't know if it's a classic Survivor move.
So
talking about
my thing was
Taylor.
He's good with mason jars and canning.
Yeah.
But apparently he's not good at being a thief.
Yeah, he's certainly not good at being quiet.
I'm good at mason jars. Clink, 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 clink.
Gosh.
I'm surprised he didn't bust any.
Yeah. And this is a prime example of somebody not doing a good job of taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yes.
Talking about Adam.
Yeah. So tell me your thoughts and I'll tell you mine.
Well, it's like, Adam, why would Taylor go against Jay? He's not going to do that. He's not scheming like you are. He's just enjoying life, and he enjoys Jay more than he enjoys you. So he's not going to go with your plan. And he was playing Taylor like Taylor was Adam. Taylor, like he was playing someone like himself, and he's not.
It's funny because last time I talked about Adam should have used it to his advantage to try to say, Taylor, I tried to put you in a better position. And he did kind of do that this week by saying, if you get rid of Will, you get to be Jay's number one. He's trying to put Taylor in a better place. But I don't think, in everything we heard, Jay always mentions Michelle and Taylor. He doesn't mention Michelle, Taylor, and Will. It's like Michelle and Taylor is who he wants. But I mean, I like the fact that he caught him. and went out there with him. But you're trying to work with a guy who, according to Figgy, doesn't really have much thought in the game. He's just out there playing it, and he's bent on revenge. And I don't know. I just think he went too far trusting him. Of all people, that's not the guy you want to trust. You're like you said, you're thinking you might be talking to another Adam. You could probably win him over and be an unlikely, power duo.
Right.
But you're talking to Taylor.
Yeah.
To me, you got to know that it's Taylor.
Yeah.
So Taylor has no desire to work with Adam, according to what he said.
Yeah, that's right. All right. That's like, let's go to day 22. We got Chris and Brett and Ken and Sunday talking about how the millennials are tight.
Mm-hmm.
Then later they're talking numbers and stuff. And ultimately everybody's saying, let's get Taylor off. And then I want to talk about David's great confessional if you don't have anything before that.
Well, they talk about getting Taylor off because they talk about how Taylor's stealing food. Because Ken saw it. He saw stuff was going on, and Brett said, yeah, it was Taylor. So, and I like how they start counting up numbers, and they include Zeke and then Jessica and Ken. And I'm like, there you go. This is the group that split early, and it's coming back together now.
Yeah. So David gets a great confessional as he says, everybody wants to get off Taylor, ... This is word for word here. We're at a point in the game where everybody is trying to carve out a path to final tribal. So there's going to be a ton of scrambling. People are going to start to get unsure. And that is when the game gets crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was a really good, he's going far in this game.
He seemed very mellow in this episode. Like he's got it. He sees the speed that the game is running. He sees the track that it's on, and he's just going to step on the side of the train and ride it for a while.
Right.
And I think that's smart. And it's funny because what he said comes true in the latter part of this episode, except it's mostly just with Adam, the one scrambling around. When people get worried, that's when he starts moving around too quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't have anything else for day 22.
They confirm with Ken and Jessica that people right now want to vote Taylor, which told me that Taylor wasn't going to go home.
Yeah.
So, and I still think Taylor's going to stay longer than Adam. I hate that, but I think he's going to get his revenge on Adam.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's
when I said, okay, there's our first red herring. Taylor's not going anywhere.
I love Zeke hearing on the next day, Taylor and Jay talking. I love it.
I love, this is more of the strategy talk, the voting block talk. Jay and Taylor, this is probably the most game-like talk we've heard from Taylor.
Right.
Taylor says, when do we want to vote off a millennial? Great question. When do we want to cut one of our own? Because right now we've got all the millennials, so they think. And that's a great question. How soon do we do that? I love that Taylor's asking. He's not saying, he's actually asking.
Yeah,
that was smart. And Jay's like, later, too soon to do that now. And then they take inventory of all the millennials and where everybody stands and then he explains the chat he had with Adam. He doesn't say when that he got caught stealing food. He just says, I talked to Adam and he wants to go against Will.
Yeah.
And then Jay comes to the right thought that, well, if he goes after Will, then he's going to go after me next. So they talk about surprising Adam, and that's when you see Zeke. How awesome was that? Was really cool, smart of Zeke to be listening and just stop and just walk away.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was great. All right, you ready for the challenge?
Yeah, and then Taylor, I'm sorry, CBS, but you screwed this challenge up for me. Because Taylor goes and tells Will about Adam's plan and makes Will nervous, and Will says, well, now I have to win the challenge. Thanks. Now I know who's probably going to win the challenge.
Why? Because they wouldn't have shown that if he didn't win?
Yeah, I think it's so early in the merge that Will's going to win because he just said, I have to win. So it just, to me, it wasn't a surprise at the end. I didn't think Jessica was going to beat him. I was hoping she would, but I didn't think she would.
Okay, so you think if he had not won, then CBS would not have shown him saying, I have to win? Is
possible?
Okay.
Yeah.
They updated the challenge to make it tougher. Translation, we don't like waiting 3 hours for you guys. I got steak and potatoes waiting for me back at the camp, at the production camp. Hannah is honest where she's feeling it. She names like basically every part of her body.
I'll tell you because they're not telling you the truth. I'll tell you everything.
And that's when I tweeted, Hannah, I hope you will come on our show because you are awesome. I can't wait to talk to you. You make me smile. Hannah makes me smile. Will and Jessica, only 2 left in the challenge, and Jessica looked amazing in this challenge. I mean, she was just, and you know what, Jeff Probst, don't ask emotional questions during a challenge. You know,
if you're going to ask them both the question, not one.
I mean, she could have. I mean, he asked an emotional question that could get her crying, and then she messes up because he got her crying. That's not what happened, but you know, I'm like, don't. That's messing with me. That's messing with my head. That's not just, you know, casual talk during the challenge.
That's like me doing the challenge, and he says, "How would your kids feel about it?" And I will talk about how they would be proud of me.
Yeah.
What about your father? He passed away a few years ago. How would he feel looking down? I'm like, I'd rip the pole down and smack him across the head with the stick.
Will's over there going, "My mama told me good things too.
Yeah.
That's what my mommy said."
Oh, Will, you're still in it? Okay, sorry. We're just talking to Jessica.
Yeah.
Sylvia said in our chat room, if Will had not won, probably he would not have had any confessional. It is unfair because he knows strategy. If you listen to some of his secret scenes, he does know strategy, but a lot of his confessionals are inspired, still happy to be here. Talk. And he's young, he's excited, and more power to him. He is still excited. I love that. So is Hannah. They both got that happiness in them that makes you can tell they're still happy to be there. And Adam. But I don't think Will is all his strategy is coming out. And which leads edit watchers to believe that he doesn't factor in the end. You know, he's a peripheral player to Jay, so we're not getting it.
Right.
Good point.
By the way, it didn't look like anything happened to make her bucket fall. In fact, that happened to several of them. Several of them didn't. They were just standing there and the bucket falls. So it was really kind of awkward to me. I almost felt like it was too sensitive.
Very feather sensitive.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't like they failed and it fell. Like Zeke, he stepped off and it fell, right?
Mm-hmm.
But others, they're standing there and it's not like their arms go like this. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What did I do? You know?
Yeah, there was no opportunity to recover. Like Probst said, what a recovery! Saves himself. You know, you couldn't do it in this challenge.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you couldn't even tell when it was going to go. It was sensitive.
And I was glad that after Will won and he pulled his skinny arms out of those cuffs and he walked over and hugged Jessica, that he didn't leave her strapped to the cuffs. He actually went back and helped her get out of the cuffs. I'm like, dude, she's about to fall over. Help her out of the key. Oh, yeah, you're still stuck in those things.
Yeah.
That was funny. Then Adam gets the exit confessional.
Yeah.
You know, his plane's out the window. And, you know, now he's got to go to plan B. And I'm like, why does Adam have to go to plan B? To me, this part of the edit was a little funny in that if Adam is really with Zeke and Hannah, he is not with Jay, Taylor, and Will. He's got to be with them. And if Zeke is with Chris, then they're all with the Gen Xers. Why is Adam having to come up with a plan? To me, this is Adam overplaying, either thinking that he's got to make the plan or just sticking his neck out too far, doing too much work, and he gets called out for it later. Yeah. So I'm thinking, why do you have to come up with plan B? Did he have everybody on board to vote out Will? I mean, I wonder if he had all the Gen Xers on board to vote out Will. So
yeah.
But anyway.
All right, back at camp, you got Will and Jay and Taylor and Michelle talking, I think. And they're like, it must be Adam. And Jay's like, it's Adam. Deal with it.
He even looks at Will. Do you want it to be Adam? He says, yeah, I want Adam.
This is your choice.
This is where Michelle should have spoke. I mean, she did speak to Jay privately, but she didn't win him. She's like, no, that's stupid. He doesn't have a number. Jay's the one that said not now. Jay's own confessionals are getting contradicted by his own actions. So I just don't think that's a winner's edit. And Michelle is being sensible again, saying, no, we should not vote him out yet because we need the numbers. He doesn't have the numbers.
Right.
So if he's willing to work with Taylor, get him to work with us.
So basically, Zeke and Adam and the rest of the nerd herd go to the Gen Xers. And am I right that David pretty much talked them all into we need to get Michelle off?
I think he did. We just didn't see 80% of the conversation because he was exactly right.
Yeah.
She is the safe vote. Why not Taylor? Ken wants Taylor, understandably, which is great to hear. That means that Bro Alliance is not necessarily going to happen. But at the same time, hey, Taylor's best friend is Jay, and he's likely got an idol, according to Zeke.
Right.
So let's not even split votes. Let's don't play with that. They're not going to play it on Michelle. but they might play it on each other. So just get a safe vote out of the way, draw the lines in the sand, and vote out Michelle.
Right. Funny line of the episode, Will. I know he doesn't have an idol. He's scrambling too much, talking about Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Will.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I love that.
You're wrong.
And Adam is so desperate that he goes to the Gen Xers and says, just give me a name and I'll write it down.
And Hannah's like, will you please stop?
Yeah. And
Stop
then
pulling people aside, you crazy Adam.
And not to jump to the end, but Adam did something very brave at Tribal. He didn't play an idol because he was confident. He must have been really confident. And to me,
that's what I was thinking.
We did not get the end of the conversation. I think this seemed like it happened earlier where Chris and Ken were going back and forth about Michelle or Taylor. Ken really wanted Taylor and Chris wanted Michelle. And the way the edit put it, Adam turned around from that conversation, walked away saying, they can't decide. They can't decide. I've got to go with another plan. Let me go back to Taylor, the guy that hates me, and try to make something else.
Gosh.
And then we get, to me, my funniest moment of the episode was Adam and Taylor talking. And Taylor said, we shouldn't have done that plan, because info gets leaked out. And Adam should have said, but I only told you.
That's right.
So you're the one that leaked it.
Yeah.
I thought you could keep a secret.
Yeah.
So, and like we said earlier, Adam's he's bouncing everywhere. And Hannah, calm, cool Hannah, and David sees it too. I love this, seeing these different people work together. Like earlier when Zeke told Adam that they knew about his plan, he heard him talking. He said, right before the challenge, I saw Jay and Taylor talking, and he told him what you said. Jessica's right there. So that shows that she's in that group as well. I love all this intermingling, and Zeke's right in the middle of a lot of it.
Yeah.
If anything, I think Zeke's getting a better winner's at it. And so they go back and forth, and I like that Hannah actually grabs Adam and says, you got to stop, because if you don't, we're all going to vote you out.
Right.
And then we get a good scene with Hannah and Zeke saying, yep, he's untrusting. We never know what he's going to do. He's not playing a calm game right now, and he's nervous. So it was good. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed this episode. There's one more secret scene you need to watch with Hannah and Ken bonding. And it's really neat. It shows good social work from Hannah and Ken. And she talks about, he says, am I who you, because he's one of the people that she wanted to meet because she never got to work with him or tribe with him. And she says, when I heard you were weird, I was hoping you'd be the weird that I'd want to talk to, but turns out you're even better. You're the weird that I like. So, I mean, they bonded. It was really neat. Hannah and Ken.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Tribal Council.
Now, and walking into Tribal, I'm sorry. I know you're tired. I'm tired too. But the rewatch really got me awake. It was really good. Adam's got the hardest dilemma, I think, that a survivor can have. If I play the idol, I take away all my fears and I'm safe. In my opinion, tell the next Tribal Council when they vote you out for not trusting them. Or if I don't play my idol, I show trust and loyalty, but I could go home.
Right.
That's a real dilemma. So, but I'm ready to go to Tribal now.
All right. We're at Tribal.
There.
We're at Tribal, and Michelle got voted off. You have anything else to
say? Taylor, I can't get over Taylor.
Do whatever you want, man.
Oh, no. There's a couple good lines. I'm not even going to go there. It's not worth talking about. But I like Probst had a line, new tribes force new relationships and test old ones.
Yep.
That's just classic Survivor, which is great on Survivor's planning to go to 3 stages. Jay quotes Will. My buddy Will said, when you find someone you could trust, you latch onto them. And I was waiting for Probst to go, Michaela, did you hear that? Everybody that stood here is on that. So lines will be drawn.
Already vacationing somewhere else.
Exactly. The lines will be drawn tonight. Taylor not worried. And Adam says this is where the fun begins. And then Michelle gets voted out.
Yep. So who's on the bottom now? Will, Taylor, and Jay.
Yep.
I guess you ain't the kingpin anymore, Jay.
Nah, afraid not. Sad part is Michelle, to me, had been steering her own bus, and she let somebody else steer this week, and it cost her.
Yeah.
And she even admits it as such in her exit cameo confessional where she says, I laid back too much.
Yeah. All right, man. Are we ready to move on?
Let's do it.
All right.
Have you finished your Christmas shopping? Well, don't be like David and Dwaine and wait till the last minute to get it done. Do it now and use their Amazon link when you do. Not only will you get all your Christmas shopping done, but you'll also be helping support these guys and their great podcasts. So always use stwdd.com/Amazon when you start your shopping. Or make it even easier and just use the link on their website. Now, back to D&D.
That's right. I love Christmas music. I love it. Yes, we are Amazon affiliates, and anytime you shop Amazon, it supports us. So thank you very, very much.
I will rejoin the podcast now. I also love Christmas music because I was muted, so you couldn't hear me tell you how much I like Christmas music.
Okay.
I actually have playlists just dedicated to Christmas, and that'll be coming out very soon.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's time for...
Everybody sit back. It's time for feedback. Our listeners have to say what's on their minds today. D&D will hear you. D&D will read you. D&D will take the time to take your lines, analyze, and feel you. It's feedback. Survivor Talk with D&D. Take and listen to feedback, y'all. That's right.
All right, David's got the first one. By the way, we are giving away a Survivor buff tonight, courtesy of buffusa.com. Go ahead, David.
No, I don't.
I'm sorry, I do. Lori Proleski from Venice, Florida. Hey there, David and Dwaine. Once again, I was unsure who was going to be voted off. Yes, so was I. Thank you. If anybody sends in feedback tonight and says, I knew Michelle was going home, I'm going to smack them. All right. Once again, David not laughing at my jokes. Just throwing that out there. My co-host is failing me. Right.
I'm talking to our chatters. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I see how it's going. Once again, I was unsure who was going to be voted off. The editors are doing a good job keeping me guessing. Sorry to see another woman leave, however. So is CBS, I bet. Yeah. Does anyone know about all three idols, or is there no overlapping of knowledge? Seems like only Will, maybe Taylor, knows about Jay's idol. Zeke knows about David's idol, but who knows about Adam's? Usually there is much more speculation about the idol, but we might not be seeing it yet. It will be interesting to see if there is more idol talk going forward.
That's a really good point, because who's doing all the scrambling right now? The guy that supposedly hasn't told anyone about his idol. David shared his with half the tribe, and Jay and Will knows about Jay's. So maybe Taylor knows, but yeah. Adam's the one that hasn't shared, and he's now scrambling.
Yeah. She continues, reward stealing advantage seems like it will backfire on Adam. Too soon for him to be planning on stealing the loved one's visit. It could be great TV, though. Very dumb to tell Taylor about the advantage. You're right. Adam should realize he is never going to be Taylor's main alliance. Also, not good move to tell Taylor they should target Will. Yeah, that whole conversation. Yeah.
Well, the advantage, I can understand him trying to win him over with information, but the targeting Will was way too soon.
Yeah,
it was not good.
Yeah. I can't believe the Millennials didn't target a Gen Xer. Hannah had a great confessional. She is more strategic than we have been shown. Another great episode. Enjoying this season so far. Thanks for providing a family-friendly podcast and Facebook page and Facebook group also. Lori Proleski, thanks for pronouncing my name correctly in my first feedback last week. You're welcome. From Venice, Florida.
Excellent. Dave Holdsworth from New Jersey. Barry Nachos from the lakes of New Jersey.
Did you say Barry Nachos?
I did, just to see if you were listening.
Oh, okay. Of course I'm listening.
Or Buenos noches, whatever you want to say. A few observations from this week's episode. One of the reasons why I love this show so much is its ability to surprise me, even in season 33. Introducing an advantage that allows you to steal a reward. Awesome. It adds an interesting wrinkle to things. Will, the youngest player ever, who has been chided mercilessly by superfans for sitting out most tribal immunity challenges, dominates in the first individual immunity and wins.
Yeah, so why was he sitting out the other ones?
Because Jay and Michaela weren't sitting out. So, David, a scrawny, cerebral player who producers make fun of as the biggest challenge stooge since Stephen Fishback, makes it to the top 4 in the very physical immunity challenge. Another great point. I'm telling you, David is winning a challenge this season, and it's probably going to be a puzzle.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing about David is he doesn't have anything but bones. So, and bones just stay there. If he had flesh like me, it'd be like messing him up. But since he's just bones, yeah, it was pretty easy for him.
And Jessica is not bones, but she's shoulders.
Yeah.
I think she throws hay bales around and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, that's right.
Let's see. Did you even try that challenge? I read Dalton Ross's recap, and he said he did it in his office or something for like 3 or 4 minutes. That's all he did. I can't imagine trying to do that.
Wow.
But now that I think about it, that might be a challenge next time we have Youth Survivor Night. I like that.
Okay.
They got to hold up a bucket of water or something. That'd be good. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It'd be like all those, water bucket challenges gone wrong on Facebook. I mean, on
a bucket of ice water. There you go.
Yeah.
The Pastor Dwaine that used to be here had this idea. One thing that wasn't a surprise, Hannah's continued state of dumbfounded disbelief. I love her quote, "What is happening?"
I know, I love her.
Sums up the season for her nicely in 3 words. Taylor making noise and clinking bottles together while stealing food. Worst burglar ever.
Yes.
Finally, props to Adam. Yes, he made an incredibly dumb move by telling Taylor, whom he had already backstabbed, that he wanted to target Taylor's second closest ally in Jay and Will. And then compounded, my mouse moved. And then compounded his error by also spilling the beans about his reward advantage. But then in a moment of clarity that I predict is a foreshadowing of him winning it all, which would be great since he was my Survivor pool pick, he recognized his blunder and was able to recover from it and garner support for voting out one of Taylor and Jay's allies in Michelle. And he was secure enough in the vote not to play his idol, meaning his alliance is fairly tight. Yeah. So were you talking to the TV like me and saying, play the idol? Play the idol.
Well, I was thinking surely you're going to play it. And then when he didn't play it, I thought, okay, well, he's not going home, because the only reason why he wouldn't play his idol is if he was confident he was not going home.
And I would think that probably came from Zeke and Hannah. Just to say, no, you're fine. Those are probably the only, who does he trust right now? So no winner in Survivor plays a perfect game, except maybe Boston Rob in his 4th season. Winners win because when they make their inevitable mistakes, they are self-aware enough to recognize it and flexible enough to adjust their plans to compensate, just like we saw Adam do. Thanks for the great podcast, David and Dwaine. It's been a great experience being part of the D&D community. Keep up the great work. Dave Holsworth.
Well, Dave, you don't have to leave. So, thanks. It's been great. You don't have to leave, Dave. You can hang around.
He was in our...
Go ahead. What?
He was in our chat room earlier and said, "Oh, I forgot about the late start. Have a good night, folks."
All right. Patrick Vaughn from Tulsa, Oklahoma. See, people are learning to put where they're from, so we can give them buffs. How cool is it? Like Wendy Zell sent us a picture of her with her buff. Isn't it cool? Awesome. I'm just so thrilled that we get to give people things. I love doing that. So, Dwaine and David, Patrick's points on Survivor episode 8. I'm the kingpin. Okay, Patrick is speaking in 3rd person. He's writing to us in 3rd person. Number 1. Oh, back to 1st person. Number 1, I love that Hannah didn't have a meltdown about being left out of the vote, but let Jay know that she just wants to be in the loop. I also love that she vows revenge immediately after. Mm-hmm. Number 2, the merge. So many people to keep track of and a lot of very short confessionals. Sunday, Jessica and Will were a bit invisible throughout that segment, with each having call-outs later in the immunity challenge. Number 3, I'm curious if a bro-alliance will happen. It didn't this episode, but they made sure that a grouping of bros was given airtime. Either a bro-alliance will derail Zeke or he will derail the bro-alliance. This word makes me laugh, he says. Number 4, love Adam being a big fan of the game, and he knows there has to be an idol. I was so excited that he may have found a second idol, and only to be another type of advantage. Is being able to steal a reward really an advantage? I guess played at the right time it could be, but it could also really infuriate others. And if a bitter jury sits at the end, lose him votes to win. Yeah, that's a tricky advantage, which really makes it a cool advantage.
Exactly, which is crazy if he thinks about using it during the family visit. If we get one this year, because that would definitely break somebody
Oh my
down.
gosh. Yeah. Like there'd have to be some really definite, clear lines in the sand for you to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you were my enemy and you took two of my people to try and sway them, I would take your place so that the three of us would go and stay unified. That would be a time to use it.
Number 5, Taylor stashing food. Really? I can't even get over how ridiculous a character he is. I can't find anything I like about him. Number 6, as much as I love Adam, he is not good at talking strategy. Taylor is not going to forgive you, so stop giving information to him. I think after this vote, he realizes it, but at this point, it may be too late for that information not to haunt him. Number 7. Immunity challenge. I always love classic challenges, and I can't say I'm surprised with Sunday going out first, but kudos to Jessica for giving Will a run for the immunity necklace. I was definitely rooting for her. Congrats to Will. That necklace allowed you a few more days in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Number 8, I thought Hannah had good screen time between the early scene with Jay and then later talking to Adam to calm him down. She very well may have helped save him by getting him to not run around like a chicken with its head cut off. Very true.
Yeah, because they had the numbers. They could have voted him out.
Yeah. Number 9, tribal council. I can't tell if Taylor is just an idiot or he just doesn't care how he is perceived. I think it's the latter. He doesn't care how he's perceived.
Yeah.
I wish they would have voted him out, but Michelle was a much more enjoyable survivor, even if she has been less visible over the weeks. Overall, number 10, I enjoyed the episode, and I'm glad Adam is still around and that the alliance that harbors Taylor is weakened. I'm ready to see some idols start making appearances at tribal councils. Hope this wasn't too long-winded and that you're all having a great week. Can't wait to hear the podcast. Regards, Patrick Vaughn, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Whew. All right. I believe it's Gwen
from Santa Barbara.
Yeah. She's in our chat room.
Hey, awesome. D&D, this is Gwen from Santa Barbara. In parentheses, she writes, listen closely, David. So I guess I have to listen to the sound of my voice. Yes, I don't know why this is still going on, but okay. Probably because you keep bringing it up mid-podcast. So
what? No, because I told a joke and you didn't even chuckle because you weren't paying attention.
I need a light or something that says you're telling a joke. So
oh man, you're horrible.
Gwen continues, and I'll find Gwen's comments in the chat room after I read her feedback because I can't see both at the same time. I enjoyed last night's episode. There are so many different relationships, and it was hard to tell which way the vote would go. And on top of that, there are 3 idols in the mix. Who knows how the merge will play out? My best guess right now is that the Millennials will cannibalize each other, while the Gen Xers will be able to hide behind the drama. I hope this isn't the case, though, because I am Team Millennials all the way. Let's talk about Adam. I think that he was trying to make a smart move that may have worked a few years ago, but the game has changed. I think he revealed too much information to Taylor without testing his loyalty first. That's a good point. I'm listening, Gwen. I hear you on that. I totally agree. He should have had a testing period before you trusted him too far.
But really, he should know there's no need for a testing period. You backstab the guy and he doesn't think strategically.
I would not be opposed to having an argument with somebody, like some other dude, and I just get into an argument at the merge. And then if I can find him out in the woods, I would say, dude, who would expect us to be working together?
Yeah, that's true. But again,
it's
Taylor is not going to listen to that. That's my point. All of these great plans that should work won't work because it's Taylor.
Because they go in one ear and go out the other.
It goes in this ear and it goes, nope, this doesn't go with me hanging out with the bros.
Snowboard, surfing, Figgy. Yeah. Nope. Gone.
You took my babe. You took my girl.
Delete.
Yeah.
I think he should have shared information about the reward challenge and waited to see if Taylor spilled the beans or the rice in the fire. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I was glad that Michelle went home. Do you think there are dragons at Ponderosa? Did I miss something about dragons?
There's a secret scene.
Okay.
Where there's historical references to dragons. And she mentioned it and people were giving her a hard time about it.
Well, Game of Thrones is historical, isn't it?
Yeah,
no? Okay.
Of course.
If there are, I bet they hide the second the next jury member shows up. Oh yeah, you should have seen the dragons before you got here.
Oh,
Anyway, can't wait to hear the show tonight. Gwen.
oh yeah. All right. Next we have Wendy from South Dakota.
Hey, David and Dwayne. This is Wendy from South Dakota. Just got done watching the episode, and first and foremost, we all have to give it up for Zeke and the cheerleader toe touch jump. It was pure awesomeness, and I am officially in love with him now. Okay, beyond that, good episode. Will pulled out a individual immunity win when he absolutely needed it. But for the life of me, I cannot understand why they did not. They had 4 millennials, Taylor, Jay, Michelle, and Will, and the other 9 all voted together. Why did they not do a 5-4 split, 5 for Jay, 4 for Taylor? In case Jay played his idol, then it would have been a 4-4 tie. They would have revoted and just piled all their votes on Taylor. I guess that's what I was expecting when we got to tribal council, because I was like, geniuses would have figured this out. There must have been some distrust that maybe they thought at least have enough votes. He doesn't know that he has. Okay, well, I'm thinking on my feet here, so you'll have to excuse that whole last part. Anyway, Adam's advantage in the preview for next week. Okay, first of all, I think it's silly that Jay and Taylor think that this is totally going to ruin his game. I don't think it's totally going to ruin his game. It may make him a bit of a target after they get rid of the last 3, Will, Jay, and Taylor. But if Adam's smart, get rid of it just so it's not a target on your back anymore. I mean, that's an easy counteraction to what they're saying. So anyway, thanks guys for the buff. I really appreciate it. If I were to be drawn again, I would like to use my legacy advantage, and I would like to will the buff, if I win another one, to Mike K, because he does so much work with coming up with stats and telling us history when we're talking about what has happened in past episodes and such. So that's who I would like it to go to. Anyway, y'all take care. Bye.
Well, that's awfully nice of Wendy.
Yes, it is. In fact, you're gonna play her applause first, then I'll say
Yes.
Some of her feedback. Oh, yes, I just kind of poked you to wake you up there. Some of her feedback got muted on me. I think it was my side.
Oh no, no, it wasn't your side. I was typing on my computer, and Hangouts automatically mutes me when it types. So I'll have to put her feedback in post-production.
I won't mention what you were typing about, but anyway.
I'm hungry. That's what I was typing about.
Taco Bell. She mentioned, Dave Holdsworth also is using his legacy advantage to will it to someone. I won't tell you who, though, unless he wins. But he mentioned it last week. He emailed me privately and said, hey, if I win another buff, because he's already won, he said, I want to give mine to so-and-so.
Well, who's he going to give it to?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to surprise at the end if he wins again. So, and then we mentioned it to Wendy, and she said, "Oh, that's a great idea." So she wanted to give it to Mike K. That was awesome.
So sweet of Wendy.
He mentioned splitting the votes, and I understand that, and mathematically it makes sense, and it makes sense if you completely, without a doubt, trust everybody that's voting with you, because if you split votes, you're giving someone the opportunity to blindside you at the same time. So this could have been just a test of loyalty. I think that might be part of it, especially with Adam, because if Zeke and Hannah aren't trusting Adam, then the Gen Xers aren't going to trust Adam. So this could have been a test for Adam. But yeah, if you split votes, you're offering up a chance for somebody to flip it on you blindside. So,
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, then let's do Brian from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Eh?
Hey.
Not shocking. Hannah wants revenge and is an absolute delight to listen to. Everyone should have a Hannah in their lives. Not shocking. Taylor wants revenge and eats way too much food. Extremely shocking. Taylor as the voice of reason. I swear it happened a few times last night. He made more sense than I thought possible. Adam. After a promising start at the merge where he located an advantage, it was mostly downhill for poor Adam. He was the neutron bomb of the week. Everything looks the same after it detonates, but the damage is undeniable. He found the riskiest advantage ever. I think if you steal my reward, I will definitely be irritated and quite likely won't vote for you to win. Adam mentioned stealing someone's loved one visit. No! Burn this paper before it burns you. The rest of the episode was me thinking, no, Adam, what are you thinking, Adam? Taylor is your latest alliance, Adam? Yikes. You told Taylor what about your new advantage? Stop, Adam. Stop talking to everyone. Stop seeming so unpredictable. There you go. Adam wants a survivor legacy that implies greatness and not mediocrity. He survived this tribal, and I hope for better things from Adam. The things he did I really liked at Tribal just before the votes were read and before an idol could be played was scanning to the right and to the left and judging by those he saw correctly that his voting block weren't turning on him this week. A good read. I know you two are 50% on David. One of you is clearly wrong here. I watched this episode twice and every word from David was measured and totally spot on. Yes, it was. I agree. I like David as a player, by the way. I got really tired of hearing David, but now it's a little bit better because there's more
I've liked him
people.
since day one. But yeah, he's a different player now. He's like a seasoned player.
Yeah, he's not acting as haywire now. More calm. The Michelle boot was his plan, and the calmness and confidence he plays with now are worlds apart. I know, another season. From his hamster on a treadmill in episode 1. See, and that's why I didn't like him at first, but now I do. To quote Figgy from the Blindfold Challenge a few episodes ago, David, you're right. It is possible that she didn't mean it this way, but I choose to think so anyway. He seems well positioned for a trip to the final 3, but it's early times, I know, and wishful thinking on my part.
I should have corrected that. He probably meant Michelle. She was calling out David.
Sorry.
Oh, that's your fault.
How did the millennials get this? It's very late. I'm very tired. How did the millennials get this far in life and be so bad at simple counting? We all have fingers and toes, but as sure as my name is not Brad Culpepper, how did Jay and his pack think they would get at least 7 votes to put the run to Adam? Jay's head did a bobblehead swivel at Tribal as the votes were counted. I think he was trying to determine who didn't vote Adam. I get he counted on Hannah voting Adam, but who were the other numbers? Michelle felt comfortable enough not to scramble, and the self-proclaimed kingpin Jay exuded confidence at Tribal. Did Brett and Sunday promise to vote Adam? The cool kids always seemed to think they could dictate who went home, but watching the episode, that never seemed possible. Jay is a supremely confident, bordering on arrogant individual and a smart one most of the time. Something happened we didn't see. Jay's questionable move to blindside Michaela looked bad at the time, but seems downright atrocious now. The merge challenge. Awesome, except poor David had to be on tiptoes. The only one? I think we were treated to a show of fierce determination from teenager Will and Jessica. Their good-natured banter on how their families would be proud of them. Lovely moment. I only wish Jessica could have earned a separate reward for the competing women, as they do some years. 90 minutes in the beating sun. Both have the heart of a lion, and I am certain Jessica's children know she is a rock star. I think Will is not long for the game, as he was this week's target, but I'm thrilled he had such a sublime moment on the show.
When you go to watch those secret scenes, Jessica also has a real nice scene about her parents and talking about fighting and staying in the game, so it's pretty cool.
I see Ken was a more passive character this week and was almost invisible last week. I hope this is not a bad sign. Next week, the cool kids millennials could remain prime targets, but Ken feels like he could be Ken feels like he could well be the outer rather than the inner circle of the large alliance, as would Jessica and really David.
See, that's going to be interesting to watch, to see who decides to make the move first to get the Triforce and use them to vote out a Gen Xer.
Yeah. I am not a Zeke geek. I am not sure why, but then my mindset thinks he will be the villain of the season and around a really, really long time. Connected to Chris and all Chris's posse, connected to David and by extension his allies, strongly connected to Hannah. He would still be strongly connected to Adam, but Adam really did blow up that alliance. He's everywhere, overhearing Jay scheming, pronouncing Adam should go home, pointing out Jay's infinite charm, and on and on. I am sure Zeke had more words last night than many players have had all season. It was noteworthy that while a lot of the three tribe new alliances fell apart, Zeke's didn't. In the battle of Zeke versus the Bro Alliance, advantage Zeke. I think Zeke will steer the vote next week, one way or the other. Brian, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada.
I think that's a really good read of an edit.
Yeah, I do too. That was a very good feedback. All right, next we have Mirai M, and she uses SpeakPipe, which cuts her off at 90 seconds, so you'll hear her whenever that happens.
Take two. Hi, David Jones and Dwaine Stroud. Keep singing. Love your music. This is Mir I Am, also known as Vader Girl. Sorry, I had to drink some water. Anyways. So, yeah, I'm really happy with Michelle. I send her love and light. You know, I was very happy during the episode because I really needed to feel some victory in the sense of being right, because I've been so wrong about things this week that it just felt good to have a prediction and have it be right, just because what I saw from the edit, I felt like she was the next to go. But I love her so much, and if I see her, I'm giving her a big hug and sending her a lot of love. She's an amazing player. My other opinions are, I think Adam needs to chill a little bit. Ken's doing very well, and I still think he's winning, and I think he's in a really good spot. Will Wall, what a cutie pie, won the first individual immunity. I was so proud of him, and I was also proud of Gen X Jess. I mean, amazing, beautiful body. She's brains, brawn, and beauty, total package. And I also thought Hannah was really playing a good social game. I think she's going to go really far. I love her. She's so cute and adorable. I love her and David. I love my David Wright. And I think Taylor, maybe he smoked some marijuana on the island. Sorry, that's Mir I Am again. SpeakPipe, God bless you. But Taylor and his little jar thing and eating the food, I mean, geez, what a bad Survivor move. Either he's never seen Survivor or whatever. I don't know how he didn't control himself, how he needed that. It just was weird. But, you know, I don't know if Adam did the best thing. I love Adam Klein so much. I love him. I just think he's so cute. But he's just really kind of playing the game poorly between the middle guy. I'm very concerned for him, which brings up my next point, which is the three idols. Who do you guys think will play first? I'm guessing Adam just got by the edit and how much airtime he's getting. Though I don't know. I mean, David's also told somebody. I don't know if Adam's told anybody. And then Jay and Will know about it. So I don't know. But there's idols out there. So the game is afoot. May the force be with you. We love black cats. We eat kale for life. And stay healthy, guys. God bless. And thank you so much for your distraction, entertainment, love, hope, and fellowship. God bless. Bye.
Quick guess. Who plays an idol first?
What? I don't know.
Quick.
I don't
think it's Adam. I wonder if Adam's going to go home with an idol.
Ooh.
No. I would say David would probably play it first. Well, no. Jay could play it out of fear, but no. I wouldn't be surprised if Adam goes home with it.
Hannah. Oh, wait, no. Sunday. Yeah. Sunday.
Could be Brett. Never know.
Yeah.
Or Lucy. Oh, wait a minute. Not Lucy.
All right. Next, we have Bart Labor from South Carolina.
Dwayne, Dave, and Survivor family. Wow, another good episode, but not quite on the scale of Michaela's ousting. Hate to see Michelle go. I kind of was hoping she would make it far. But man, what a great episode. Lots of intrigue. Adam. But there are some people you just can't wait to see go. And there's some people that add a level of interest to the show because of their antics, and Adam's one of them. I don't know what he's thinking, sharing all that stuff with Taylor. I mean, last week hey man, I know I screwed you, blah, blah, blah. Oh my goodness. That's the worst thing he could have done. And now he's sharing his advantage with Taylor. That's I knew that was going to come back to bite him in the boo-boo later. And then as they show us next week, it apparently does. And it's funny that Michaela, just a few weeks ago, I'm going to close with this because I don't want to be too long. But isn't it funny that just a few weeks ago, Michaela was saying, you got more Gen Xers, you got more millennials over there than Gen Xers. If you don't know what to do, something's wrong with you. And since then, it's been nothing but millennials going home every vote. A Gen Xer is going to win this thing. There are some comparisons that could be made to some recent events, but I'm going to leave that for another time. A Gen Xer is going to win it. I can't predict who, but that's that. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you again for all that you do. And I know I'm a little early on this, but I say it to my customers every day. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That's right. Thank you. I love this time of year. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
I'm glad he called back in because I wasn't sure who that was.
Oh, yeah?
That was I was like, who is that guy? And
Is
he called
Bart
back with
Labor?
the- Yeah. That's who he was.
Yeah. I think a Gen Xer is going to win this thing. If a
So now
Gen
you got me
Xer is going to
wondering,
win,
Yeah. Who?
who is it? Who?
I
Chris.
wonder if we see. Yeah, but we should have seen that confessional that he gave them the secret scene. He's going to win.
True.
David is the one that has started having very mature and calm confessionals. Jessica could do well, or Ken still could be Ken, but we're not getting their stories. We're getting the millennial stories. But now you got me thinking about listening to Christmas music tomorrow with all your little singing stuff.
I often forget that David was a Gen Xer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why does that totally
Because
throw
he played
me
his
off?
idol to save Jessica.
Well, goes to show you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's next, David?
Next is Faith from Rochester, Washington. She says, just wanted to say I would have been out of the immunity challenge in less than 2 minutes. Me too. Sorry to see Michelle go. She is my Yakima, Washington girl. I did not see it coming at all, and neither did she. Love the show, Faith. Go Hawks, as in Seahawks.
Oh, yeah, we love Faith. And that's our feedback tonight. Yes, good feedback tonight, y'all. It's time for the buff giveaway. David has randomly assigned numbers to all of our feedback submitters who met the following requirements as posted on Facebook. Number 1, you must live in the continental United States. Number 2, you must have submitted a feedback about episode 8. And number 3, you must have left your feedback on time. And David extended the time tonight. So, David, how many numbers will I be randomly selecting? Or I'll be selecting one random number from what numbers?
We had 9 tonight, but one was from outside the continental U.S. So we have to go with 8.
Okay, 8. All right, here we go. Pick me a number between 1 and 8.
I'm sorry.
No one gets one this time.
That's I'm sorry. It's too late for me to give you that information.
Pick a random number between 1 and 8, you crazy woman.
After all I've done for you.
Arguments with Siri.
What is your problem?
I'm sorry. I'll try harder.
Thank you. Pick a random number between 1 and 8.
It's 6.
There you go. Finally, it's 6. David, who is our winner?
From the Death Star, Vader Girl.
No.
Mere I Am.
Way to go, Mere I Am. Good. She's gonna be like, just get me a buff with Ken on it. That's all I care about.
Just get me Ken's buff. That's all she cares about.
So she wins a buff courtesy of buffusa.com. Use the link buffusa.com/SurvivorTalk33 and go to their website and use the promo code SurvivorTalk33 to get 10% off of their amazing buffs. As you can see, that is a good looking merge buff. Although my favorite is still, gosh, it's so hard to, why can't I do this? Yeah, that's still my favorite. I can't do it. That's so weird.
You're a Gen Xer. Where's the Gen X buff?
What? Oh, it's
are you trying to say a Gen Xer is going to win?
Yeah.
Wearing the merge buff. Nice.
Yep. All right. I'm not even going to play the iTunes jingle. Look, y'all, leave us iTunes reviews. Thank you. Okay.
I like that jingle the best. Keep that one.
Oh, you like that one? Yeah. All right. Are we going to do Pondering Ponderosa now? Yes, we do. We do need to do that.
Pondering Ponderosa.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now that time of the year or that time of the season where we talk. Sorry, chat room had something funny in it. You should be part of the chat room. Where we talk about the Ponderosa videos, which are already starting off as edited as nicely as last season's. I'm not sure if David's here or not, so I'm going to ask if he agrees and see what he says. David, do you agree? Oh, that's not good.
Say the question again.
No, I'm not going to. You lazy bum.
I was reading what you said. Was funny in the chat room.
You non-listening co-host bum.
That's
my love. And, yeah. It was a good Ponderosa video. Showed Michelle. She's handling it very well. Obviously, she's not one of those that's like, I'm so glad I'm out of the game. You know, she wishes she was still in the game, but she's out of the game. So she's like, well, I'm out of the game, so I might as well enjoy this amazing place that I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually have like hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Like they're at a resort or something.
That was amazing. It looks like this. Is it the same? Yes. No.
No, it's a new place.
It's not the same. Yeah, it's not the same as Second Chance.
It's Fiji. It's a Fiji, David.
It's a new set of seasons. Yeah, this season and next season.
Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful. And
I liked it because it was just Michelle. It's kind of selfish that nobody else, you don't want to see anybody else, but I liked it that there was nobody there greeting her with drinks and having all the food and all this kind of sit around. Oh, you should have done this. I liked that it was just her and she was just decompressing,
right,
and just sharing everything. She really got personal with some past history for herself. But man, what a likable person! You could see why she was so liked on the island and why she was a safe vote, because she was too liked. If that girl gets far, she has a good chance of winning. But I liked it because it was all Michelle. And I like people that smile more than they don't.
I do.
And
too.
Michelle is one of those. She's a happy person.
Yep. I love her approach. I'm going to pamper myself. Let me tell you, man, if there's a massage therapist on that island, also, I'd take like 18 showers and deep cleanse and whatever else I needed to do.
Yeah, she's taking advantage of all that. It's funny, as she said, I probably lost more than that because I just ate at the feast and probably gained half of it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because they were talking about how I didn't think we had that much food, and they were eating seconds.
Yeah.
And Adam says he passed. I think he passed on seconds. I don't think he passed on first.
Yeah.
I think everybody ate first.
Speaking of food, I didn't have supper tonight.
I had meatballs with seashells, marinara, and mozzarella.
Well,
And a little bit of Parmesan I added on top with garlic, and it was really good. I'm not a spaghetti fan. I'll eat it, but I'm not. But using seashells instead of spaghetti, it was really good. I had to stop. I was getting so full.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing.
You know how I know you're not a pastor like me?
No.
Because when someone says to you, I haven't eaten, I don't say to them, really? Let me tell you what I've eaten. No, that's not what I do. See,
you know what I did? I just came back from reward to tell you all that I ate while I was on reward.
Unfortunately, I live in a very small town, and the only thing open is like Taco Bell.
There is one place I guarantee you is open.
What?
Your kitchen.
Walmart. I ain't got nothing in the kitchen. Connie's been gone for a week.
Oh, you poor thing.
Maybe Wendy's is open late. Anyway, we digress.
You better hurry.
Get a Baconator burger. All right. Well, anyway, great Ponderosa video. You should go watch it. You should go watch it. So thank you for shopping Amazon, as you heard our commercial. Each time you do, you support the show. If you like our show, and many of you do, if you like it and you want to contribute a small amount, I'm talking about as little as $1 or $2 a month, you can become a D&D patron. Not only do you make a huge difference in our podcast budget each month, but $2 a month and more, and you get a D&D extra video when we make them. We didn't make one this week, but we often do. So let's see. We now have an always open D&D store, shirts, hoodies, mugs, etc. And now we have, David, did you see the newest thing I added?
What'd you add?
Ugly Christmas clothes.
Oh, yes. I did see that.
So I am telling y'all, I mean, these are ugly. They got green, red, and blue. And it's this ugly Christmas design, and it says ho, ho, ho on it. And it ain't a redneck name shirt. Sorry.
That's a tired joke right there. Speaking of which, I would give a shout out to Derek Meredith, who texted me and said, dude, the shirts are nice, but who's the chick wearing the shirt?
Yeah.
Just a model.
That's hilarious.
We have multiple picks to choose from. It's probably a random pick in our shirt. Just, the name of our shirt is put on a picture. It's not,
yeah.
She's not.
I actually picked her. I actually picked
her. You did?
Because I thought it would be attractive.
Yeah. And it was for Derek.
It was. Well, did he buy a shirt? No, he just wants her phone. No, he texts you, go, can I have her phone number? Did you buy a shirt? No. Well, no, you can't have her phone number. You don't know who she is anyway.
So he's going to retweet us until he gets a phone number.
I tell you what, man, I didn't realize Derek Meredith is a good friend to have on Twitter. Goodness. Where the heck do you find 23,000 followers?
Well, I don't know.
Well, anyway, become a D&D patron, my friends. It's fun. And get a D&D shirt or a mug. I'm telling you, these D&D mugs are only $10 and they make great, dirty Santa gifts.
Dirty elephant gifts, right?
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, sharing our show with others, subscribing on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. Of course, remember, we are now on iHeartRadio, which I have recently discovered. And iHeartRadio is the bomb. I just want to tell you, it's the bomb.
Yes, I just discovered it too.
It is awesome. And we are on there. And not every podcast could get on there. You have to meet a certain requirement. Oh yeah. If you're playing the D&D Survivor Challenge, David's got a little update for you. So go ahead.
The update is it may be over between the double digits or the daily double? Is that what you are? And Game of Jones.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The big winner this week is Adam, who we both have. 28 points. The lower scores this week were Sunday and Ken with 3 points each.
Yeah.
But now, really, what Dwaine and I's challenge came down to were 4 people. I have Ken and Idle carrying David, and Dwaine has Brett and the aforementioned Michelle.
Yeah. So from now on, we will either get equal points or you will get more points.
Brett's going to have to find 15 idols and play them all successfully.
Oh, wait.
Other
That's
people.
right. I have Brett and you don't. Wow. I am. Oh, wow. My game is over. I liked it better when we drafted.
I thought you said you liked this better.
Well, I did, but now that we're halfway through, it's like the game's over between us.
That's true, because when we draft, we can't take the same, which makes it more fun.
Yeah. So we're going to draft next time.
We should draft to
but
get
just
into this
you and me.
challenge.
Let's just,
Yeah,
just
but
you
let's just
and
do it to get into
I.
this challenge.
Okay.
Or you want to keep picking that way? We're in the challenge, letting them do all the work, but we put in 10.
Well, that means we're not going to win this challenge on the Facebook group.
It's not about winning the challenge; it's about beating.
That's right, and it's not about us anyway. It's about our Facebook groupies. That sounds horrible.
Meanwhile, down in 71st and 72nd place will be Dwaine and Dave.
Yeah,
because they picked Lucy.
The worst pick teams.
And Rachel.
Oh,
hey, maybe
wow.
Andy will just give us our own column.
Yeah. That's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And share the show, share the links, and
share the love.
Share the love. Bye.
See ya.
I'm a survivor. Devil's a liar. I'm living for the king, and my soul is on fire. So if you feel me, put your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. Put your hands in.
Hey, here's some links to 2 videos: our Stranger Things episode with Cass and my newest original song, Rise. Also, you can click and easily go to Survivor Talk website, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and of course, become a D&D patron. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye.